morning, Dr. Rohit.
Good morning, Sam.
Going hello, Definite. I guess we are good to go.
All right, sounds great. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Rohit Mahajan. He's managing partner of BigR.io and an experienced entrepreneur and leader with a demonstrated history of working in the IT and software industry. He's adept at providing innovative solutions to clients in the healthcare industry segment. He's skilled in business and IT strategy, M&A, sales and marketing, and global delivery. The innovative BigR.io AI framework helps in speeding up the drug discovery process. He holds a bachelor's degree in electronics and communication engineering, is a Wharton School Fellow, and a graduate from the Harvard Business School. He's completed executive education programs in AI and business and healthcare from MIT Sloan, MIT CSAIL, and Harvard Medical School. So my pleasure to introduce Dr. Rohit. Thank you.
Thank you, Fineth. Really appreciate you elevating me to doctor status. I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. So appreciate this opportunity to present the Big Rio AI framework. We call it Big Rio. The website is bigr.io. I'll start screen sharing and dive into the presentation. I guess there might be time for Q&A later on in this event.
Yes, yeah.
Great. And then the audience can feel free to reach me out on LinkedIn as well. So I'll start screen sharing now and bring up my deck. Please let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. Awesome. So I'm the managing partner at Big Rio, which is bigr.io. We are a Cambridge-based company, which was founded by two folks from MIT who have since then gone on to do a product venture. So with that brief introduction, I will dive more into details about Big Rio shortly. I'll talk about our partnership with a collaboration partner in Germany. We will talk about the Big Rio framework, which we are bringing to our clients, touch upon quantum computing and how it might be changing the computing landscape, talk about another framework on natural language processing and natural language understanding, which we have been working on with a couple of our pharmaceutical clients. And then initiative, which is very close to my heart, I'll talk about it. It is Better Lungs. And this is inspired by the patient journey of my father. So Big Rio has been in business for several years now. And we are focusing on applying AI, machine learning, natural language processing technologies to the drug discovery process. And we have a great team, which includes data engineers and data scientists from top-notch institutes and organizations. A lot of experience that we bring to the table there for our clients. Just a quick glimpse, a wide variety of clients, as you can see. But as I mentioned, our life sciences group is focusing on building AI platforms and frameworks for drug discovery. We work with some of the top pharma, biotech, and life sciences companies in the US. I mentioned that we are collaborating with a company in Germany. So Christian Tedona is the advisor at Big Rio for AI in drug discovery, a very accomplished entrepreneur. And he's the managing director at BioMedX, which is bio.mx. He studied molecular biology and he received his doctoral degree from the University of Heidelberg. We can see a lot of experience here that we bring to the table along with our collaboration partner. As you can see that over 17 projects have been done for the 5 big pharma companies across, several different disease conditions. So several of them have been completed. Many of them have been initiated. And on the last count, there were 7 projects which had successfully transferred to the pharma sponsor R&D pipeline. So a lot of experience that we bring to the table here in the drug discovery process, and this is in the wet lab where now we are applying bioinformatics and chem informatics and AI tools and techniques to speed up the drug discovery process. The interesting thing is that Biomedics has recently partnered with the University Medical Center in Israel and with a couple of pharma sponsors. As you can see here, they will be launching a program for AI in drug discovery, and we are quite looking forward to participating in this program as well. This is a short case study which I had the privilege of attending at the Harvard Business School recently, virtually, of course. As you can see here, Moderna is born digital company and has recently had a lot of success in the COVID-19 vaccine, discovery as well. So they run a virtuous cycle across the technical development, clinical development, and research, and everything is connected together. It is built, from a digital infrastructure ground up. And the quote from the CEO of Moderna is quite interesting. It says that they're a tech company which happens to do biology. So this is to the point, of the digital transformation that we will see in the drug discovery process. And how we are helping it along is by building a framework which we are, helping our clients with. This framework, I'll explain a little bit of it here, the various components of it. This is supported by the Big Rio professional services, so by the team of our data engineers and data scientists. So as we all know that the key problem area, or the key area in which we spend most of the time in any AI project, including drug discovery, is on the data side, which is to do with data wrangling. It is to do with feature engineering. It could do with data labeling and with data management. So it's all about the data, and that is where we play a key role. We are able to offer to our clients that the multi-source data from many different sources, the multi-form data, which can take a wide variety of structured, unstructured, forms. We are able to build data repositories for our clients, and then our data analysts working with the subject matter experts in the organizations are able to harmonize and integrate that data and get it ready for machine learning. So 80% of the work, in any AI project is on the data cleansing side and the data readiness side of things, and that is where we come into play with our innovative technologies around data labeling. And more recently, we've started looking at synthetic data as well. And then we overlay it with high performance computing. So currently, high performance computing is available from a wide variety of sources. So everyone is moving to the cloud. So there are a lot of cloud partnerships that we have that we are able to leverage here for high performance computing. I'll also talk about quantum computing in just a bit. So obviously, once the data is ready for machine learning, then with our data scientists and our experts, we bring a wide variety of machine learning techniques and models which are appropriate for the scenario, and that along with what we call smart data, and that is usually in a knowledge base. And what we are all hearing today is about the graph databases, which are coming to the forefront. So we are able to express that data smartly. And from there on, we are able to make predictions, do analytics, predictive analytics, and build the dashboards. So this framework is evolving, and it can be customized to our clients' particular situations. So with that framework, we tackle a wide variety of R&D areas, as you can see here. It can be applicable across the various use cases, chemical use cases, the omic use cases, and the clinical use cases. And a wide variety of models can be built by using this framework. So pretty widely applicable framework at this point in time. The other interesting technology which we are overlaying on top of this Big Rio framework is around DEL, and many of you will be familiar with this technology, which is around the DNA encoded library technology. So high throughput screening and overlaying machine learning techniques on top of DEL, so that you can get to drug discovery and targets faster by crunching a very, very large amount of data. So we are working towards building DEL models for our clients, and with a vision that we can move to one common DEL, and federated learning across the board. Quantum computing is coming down the pike. As we all know, it's at early stages right now. A lot of clients are experimenting with quantum computing at this point in time. So at very high level, it uses quantum mechanics. We are IBM business partners for quantum computing. And this has the potential to solve problems more efficiently and more quickly. Once we get to it, maybe in a few years from now, it will become commonplace. And then some problems which take, let's say, months to run, maybe could be solved in weeks. Some problems which take weeks could be done in a matter of hours or even in matter of minutes. So this will be particularly important to early drug discovery processing, where we are dealing with very, very huge amounts of data, especially with the advent of data from a wide variety of sources like wearables, devices, medical devices, and across the board from big databases, like I mentioned, the DNA encoded libraries. With that, I'm moving into presenting you the framework from Big Rio, which is for natural language processing and natural language understanding. NLP, I think, is one of the core areas which is moving very fast, and there is a lot of advances which are happening. And we are at the forefront of NLP technologies with our solution offerings. This is an example which we call the theory of pre-reading, and we have recently applied this to a POC with one of our large pharma clients. Essentially, this brings to the table the capability to read a large amounts of information in various different formats. In this particular case, it was PowerPoint, a corpus of PowerPoint presentations, research reports, which had been prepared by CROs for the pharma client. And then the machine learning and NLP techniques are able to absorb all that information and present insights to the user in a very friendly format, where the user can go right to the source of the information that they're looking for. And it also has the ability for Q&A in natural language. So literally the user, the research scientist, in this particular case, can ask the corpus of knowledge a question, and then this software agent has the ability to provide an intelligent answer and point to the original let's say PowerPoint slide in this particular case as well. So this as I mentioned to you was a project which was a POC which was done for a big pharma client. A wide variety of research reports were ingested into the system, and a very user-friendly interface was provided by which the research scientist in the oncology department could narrow down on the insights that they were seeking from this wide variety of research reports that was available to them. This can be applied, natural language processing can be applied in a wide variety of ways. Some of the applications that the audience and the participants might already be aware of. For example, in pharmacovigilance, you're looking at public information on adverse drug reactions, and the natural language processing immensely augments the human capability in this particular case to go through public sources of data and also private sources of data where you give access to the system, and it can bring out let's say any adverse reports about a medical device or a drug that it finds in this particular case. At Big Rio, we also offer data infrastructure services, like I mentioned. In particular, the interest is around data hubs, data lakes, and data warehouse. This allows for storage of data from a wide variety of sources in a very economical manner, and then based on the usage of the data, that is when you do compute or analytics on the data, or you call the data for, let's say, machine learning algorithm to be run, that is when the user pays for the data to be used. And this partnership in particular we have with Snowflake. So we are Snowflake partner, and Snowflake is a modern cloud platform, as some of you might be aware. It offers a hybrid model, so it can play with any cloud infrastructure, including AWS or Google or Azure, whichever one or a combination that you might be running, and it speeds up the entire process of your data ingestion, data engineering, and then building machine learning and data sciences on top of it. So we have a significant amount of ability, and we are seeing a lot of interest in this platform from our clients. The last use case which I would like to talk about, as I mentioned, is very close to my heart, inspired by the patient journey of my father. This is an initiative that we are working on at Big Rio. It's called Better Lungs, and here we are building AI platform for predicting lung cancer in COPD patients. And then in the next generation iteration, we would be positioning it for drug discovery, for discovering drugs, for COPD and lung cancer. And in this initiative, we are also partnering with a group of research scientists based in London, where they are working on a virtual lung, which is a virtual representation of the real thing. So you can test, for example, inhalers on the virtual lung without having to do it in real patients. So speeding up the drug discovery process in the whole system. So Big Rio professional services, are available across a wide variety of areas, and Big Rio stands out as a thought leader in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we do the predictive analytics, the data labeling, data engineering, natural language processing, data visualization, and we bring it in a very thoughtful, flexible engagement model to our clients. The process is, well established and quite liked by our clients. We do a very quick discovery process where we do the alignment of the Big Rio's framework with our clients' problems. So, as they say, and most of you have heard that fall in love with the problem, not with the solution. So we like to do that. We like to understand the problem quite in detail, and the discovery process always helps in that. This could be, in terms of time frame, anything from 2 to 4 weeks process. From there on, we move to a proof of concept, where we are able to do some early modeling with the data and the algorithms to showcase return on investment, and maybe even find some, as we say, early wins or low hanging fruit. And this could take anywhere from let's say 12 weeks to 16 weeks in terms of time frame. And then after that is when, whichever model needs to go into production, we can put it into execution. And that is when, we evaluate the cloud platforms and the data warehouses and make it industry grade and production ready. So that process could take another 4 to 6 weeks. So this is a very tried and tested process, which works very well with our clients. And we are using the same process for the Big Rio framework for drug discovery as well. I will end with this last slide to showcase investment in AI and drug discovery, which is happening. As you can see, this slide is showcasing AI by focus area from 2019 to 20 versus 2020. And this is global private investment in AI. And the most interesting thing that you can see here in this slide is that the most amount of money by far, and by almost 3 times as much to its nearest other category, is going in drugs, cancer, molecular drug discovery. So this is a very exciting space with a lot of investment. And I think that we will see a lot of innovation in this space. With that, I would like to thank the sponsors for providing this opportunity for us to make this presentation. Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, thanks so much for a great talk. Wait a couple seconds, see if there's any questions from the audience that come in.
Happy to answer any questions.
Otherwise, I have a quick question.
Sure. I'll try to stop sharing this.
Yeah, there you go. All right, doesn't look like there's anything. So I was interested in the NLP types of models for classifying different, not only scientific manuscripts, but also other types of data. So, I work a lot on kind of target ID, and I was just wondering if this is possible to, do they use that to kind of scan through the entire literature and then pick out, say we're interested in a specific target, pick out the kind of most relevant papers for that one target, and maybe find some maybe even downstream effects due to that, due modulation of that target, or is that the kind of the questions that you would ask, or is it more of a classification of documents in some other method? Or
yeah, so Fineth, that is a great question. So I think NLP today is at the point to solve very complex problems. And what you described in terms of selection of a target and the ability for the NLP to read a wide variety of information across various different formats. It could be in PDF, it could be in PowerPoint, it could be in translated video presentations that people have done, such like this one, where when it gets translated to text and stored in a database, including medical journals and a lot of research papers. Across the board, I think NLP has the ability today to get to the answer to that, and that is what I say in some of my discussions with the clients and with friends, that that combined with a few other things which are happening in this area, I think we will see the emergence of AI scientists, just like we are seeing the emergence of AI artists and AI musicians. So, the answer to your question, I would say, is of course you need expert level NLP folks to solve problems, but I think it's quite in the realm of what you mentioned, that there is a possibility to address that problem.
Oh, great. Thanks so much for your great talk. And I think I'm not sure how much time we have between the next about 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, it looks like the next speaker is ready, but there is, I think,
one more question. It looks like
question. Yes. Sorry, Rohit. There's a question from Michael Newvert, CEO of Secure Duet. He's asking, can you talk about your AI studio?
Yes, happy to do that. So, as Michael mentioned, we have recently launched the AI studio for healthcare startups. And that's a great question. Thank you, Michael, for asking it. So, the purpose behind setting up the AI studio for healthcare startups is to provide the startups with any of the following, right? The things that they might be lacking. So one of the things that we bring to the table is our connection with the clients. So the purpose behind the AI studio is to make introductions to our clients for these startup companies who might be looking to pilot or test their technology. The second advantage that we bring to the table is in terms of our expertise on data sciences, machine learning, AI, and data engineering. So access to talent, because good talent is hard to find. So we are able to help the healthcare startups by bringing our talent to work with them. And the third, of course, last but not the least, we can plug them into some of our networked money sources. So help healthcare startups to raise money. So these are the three major things, and that's the reason we have launched this AI studio. We have the first few healthcare startups selected. I think there are 3 of them that are currently working with us on this initiative. But the idea is to expand this, into AI and drug discovery as well. So great question again. I would say, Michael, happy to work with any startups in the AI drug discovery space to see how we can collaborate with them.
Wonderful. If there's any other questions, we can also connect you with Rohit via email introduction as well. If there's anyone who wants to learn more about his great platform. Otherwise, if there's any other remarks, feel. Okay, then. So it looks like we will be moving on to our next presenter, Dr. Andres Kleen. He's a professor of the University of Desailly. So I will be shifting everyone to that session now. Thank you again, Rohit.